Discipline. That's all you have to say. Today was a disciplined performance from Kaizer Chiefs. And it kind of shows you how a little bit of discipline goes a long way. You see, coming into this game, you were looking at two teams that play a similar type of football, that try to do similar things. Chiefs attacks with a 4. You think about Morris, Lilepo, Modi and Serino. Stellenbosch was attacking with their 4, which meant that Pili was there, De Jong was there, you had Titus who was ready also running there, and I believe it was Butsaka was joining in the beginning. So that game was bound to be a back and forth, and that's what we saw in the beginning. But there's two players for me that made a difference for Kaizer Chiefs. Ever so slight, I know they didn't score, but they made a difference. Number one, Morris. Is he the most skillful player? No. Is he the best striker? No. But what he does is stay in between those two center backs and pin them back. That's what allows Abo Modi to have space. That's what allows Abo Lilepo to make their runs in behind. Because he's holding those two defenders in place. You don't need to do too much. And when I criticize Urangachiva Vairo about leaving that space and that pocket and leaving to come and play a false 9 or try be a 10 and do all of those things, these are the things I speak about. Then the other player, of course, has to be Uditlokwe. Choosing Ditlokwe for this game was a very good choice from Ukosh Nabi. Because what Ditlokwe gives you is a player that's going to sit back. He doesn't want to attack. He doesn't want to join. Yes, he went over a couple of times in overlap. For the most part, he sits back and holds the shape. And what that does today, again, discipline, was that Chiefs held their line. And it wasn't too high, and it wasn't too deep. It was just in the right place to make sure that Titus can't run in on that side. Pili can't run in on the other side. Even after Stellenbosch made changes and brought in players like your Abrams, who was running, Yonkuz, who's meant to be running. They couldn't find the spaces that make Stellenbosch tick. Now, what I will say is that I'm not sure why Stellenbosch tweaked what they normally do. Because for me, De Jong is usually the most dangerous Stellenbosch player in that team, De Jong. When he's playing in the 10 and he's got 3 runners in front of him. But I guess because they didn't have a central striker, he had to push up, and I think that took something away from this game. So Chiefs kept Stellies quiet, which is an improvement. Now, I will admit, we are Stellies' hoodoo team. In the last 4 games that Chiefs has played versus Stellies, the last 5 games that Chiefs has played versus Stellies, we've won 4 and only lost 1. And now we've got 5 wins versus the one of Stellies in the last 6. So it is a daily bread type of situation where we just happen to click versus that team. What was interesting was the second half. And the second half was interesting because the game broke down. I don't know what Stellenbosch was trying to do. What I thought was going to happen is that they are refreshing the legs so that they can hit Chiefs. When you play at a high tempo like that for the first half, you see the effects in the second half. Lilepo was gone in the second half. He was tired. A lot of those players were spent because they'd spent that first half running so hard. So when Steve Barker made the changes, I thought he was trying to refresh the legs and then keep going at us. But it didn't work. And maybe that's where you question some of the depth of Stellies, whether when you look on this bench, are there players that can give you something different when you need it? You know, Chiefs is not the best team at making subs. Today, some of the subs didn't make sense. Okay, so I know I stopped the video a lot, and a lot of you are wondering, why are you asking for money? So I wanted to show you. I asked for money because I want to do more of this. Huh? But the truth of the matter is that it took over an hour in order just to render that shot. And it takes even longer when I'm doing my normal content because, guys, here's the unsung hero of the channel. And unfortunately, Shem, wazama, but the screen is broken. I have to use a second screen and the performance is not up to it. So I'd really love to upgrade things like that. And when you look over here, this is what the setup looks like. Rehenga di patlo and rehenga di green screen, which is a reality of being a South African content creator. Also, this is what people think is my studio. It's actually my house. So if you still don't know that I'm doing all of this from my home, then I don't know. But that is essentially what I want to do. More of these cool things. But I need you guys to please help me out by donating 50 Rand or more into this account. You know, we're fighting for multi-choice. And multi-choice, but there is subscription models all over the place. And I'd love to give the biggest quality while also being able to pay my rent and do things like that. That is where your money is going. And I promise to give you only the best content that I can if you do throw something in. So I just wanted to show you guys what I want to do with your money. I want to take this South African football and fulfill my dream of taking it into the future. But thank you guys so much. Remember, this is the bank account that you deposit into. Get back into the video. Morris is fine. You take off Morris, you keep Lilepo, who had been lying down multiple times, calling for help until finally he just called for the substrate. You take off Sirino, and I know he's just coming back from injury, but Usirino plays such a crucial role for Kaizer Chiefs. He's the thinker, he's the brain. So when you know now in the second half that Stellenbosch is going to be attacking you and you're going to get breakaway opportunities, I want to get breakaway opportunities with Sirino on the field because he can then make the decisions that others can't. How many times did you see Modi get into the box and instead of passing it back to Mdu, he shot it over? How many counters did we have where Morris gets the ball and makes the wrong pass or it's intercepted? You keep him on in those times so that you can control the transition, and that's where you score your goals. But we didn't do that. There was a substitution of Blom coming in, and I saw Blom playing left wing at some point. We're going to have to question the substitutions that are made by the coach. But in terms of the starting plan, I think that was an incredible plan. Yes, Stellies was all over the place. I don't know why they get desperate versus Kaizer Chiefs, but they were all over the place. And we were winning the ball back quite a bit. But you have to give kudos to Chiefs that today they weren't coming out and just chilling and getting beaten or just chilling and playing. You could actually see the plan. You could actually see them string together some passes, which was very great to watch as somebody who's been watching Chiefs for a while and seeing them suffer, not being able to do that. So I think all in all, that was a good performance from Kaizer Chiefs. I think it was a great performance from the defense, especially the two. Dudley and Miguel get excited. There were points where Miguel was getting excited, but for the fact that today they just listened and stayed in their line. Mart, I have to give him some credit in this game. He fought in the midfield. Because today, we even saw some sort of semblance of a forward press. The number of times Sirino won the ball back, the number of times Mart won the ball back in the attacking third was interesting. The work rate of Lilepo, who is looking like a better player every single game. Like every time I watch him, or maybe it's because we have been treated to such poor wing play up to this point, but every time I watch him, you can tell that there's something there. There's a cross-field ball that he likes to play. He played it in the derby. He played it today to Modi. There's a control that he has, a pass that he has. that I think is going to serve us very well, and it's very different from Saile. Konala, Bakashama step over corner. Hansa step over, I was thinking to myself, I remember watching Saile step overs and then he take the ball out. And this guy actually stepped out and took a shot. And I was joking that I still have post-traumatic step-over disorder from watching Usaile doing all of those things. To have him in as an upgrade, we just need to know how to use them now. I still believe that there is some sort of helicopter we can play at times. And I'm still hoping, I'm wishing for a bomb squad where Chivavairo and Morris play as a front two and we cross the ball. I think this was a game that maybe could have called for some of that, seeing as we couldn't penetrate them directly down the middle. But again, 3 points is not written how good the game was or how bad the game was or how good your subs were. It's 3 points. And the fact that we are up to 4th, even though I know there's people with games in hand, is a completely different story than what we're speaking another time. And I think what I'm proud of most with Coach Nabi is that we saw a little bit of tactical flexibility. Now he's going to have to work on that bench, and he's going to have to work on how he uses that bench. I don't know about Zwane. I don't know about some of these players, whether they're good enough to come in and change the game. And you see some of them, Baba Champile. Kyotsele is in the starting lineup over Abunjabulo Ngobo. So something's going to have to be done about the bench. But all in all, man, another 3 points versus Stellenbosch, a very good team, always welcomed. I'll see you guys after the next one.